Hi, everyone. Welcome to TerraQuip Talk. We're now at episode number 16. I can't believe we've done so many episodes. It's been such a good, crazy, adventurous journey to do this. We received so much feedback, mostly positive, for which we thank you. But anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about what's been happening. I'm going to talk about what will happen. And that's today we're going to talk with Zach from Terracon. Zach is our client. He's been our client with Marini for the last couple of years. So we're going to get his opinion about the Marini gear, his experience working with TerraQuip, what made him start his company, the vision behind his company, what sets him apart. What I like about Zach is he's kind of like us, like the new kid on the block, but not really. He's been in the industry for the last 10, 15 years, and only recently, when I say recently, that's 5 years ago, started Terracon. But now let's hear it from Zach. Zach, welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for your time. I know you're incredibly busy. It's actually a young entrepreneur.
Yeah.
There's so much to do, to get established in business. The way we're gonna structure this discussion, we're gonna split it in 5 parts. We're gonna talk about your company's vision. We're gonna talk about market dynamics. We're gonna talk about your collaboration with TerraQuip, as well as about the project, your project execution, as well as a bit of feedback, for us here at TerraQuip Talk. So, I guess first things first, right? What's the origin and what's the evolution of Terracon over the last 5 years since you started?
Yeah. So I started when I was a kid, shotcreting, maybe 16, and I just started shotcreting for one big company, and then I left there and I started working for drilling companies. I sort of saw the gap in the market for sort of like a smaller company, but not too small to sort of make a difference, sort of thing. And then I started my business maybe 5 years ago, and just with one shotcrete pump, and then got busier, and then I've ended up with a drill rig of yours and a few others, and 3 pumps just running.
So let's go back to the beginning a little bit. So you started at about 16 and you worked for different other contractors in the market.
Yeah, I worked for one for maybe 10 years, and then I left there, did my building apprenticeship, and then came back to that industry, working for a drilling company as a shotcrete manager. But they didn't mostly drilling, but they tried to get into shotcrete, so I learned my drilling stuff there.
So when we were saying drilling, I just want to, for people that don't know you, you're more into like anchoring, shotcrete, little nails, bars, underpinning.
Yeah, underpinning. So like sort of residential, but then also flows into the commercial, like the infrastructure.
So ranging from like smaller projects all the way to like the large tier one sort of.
Exactly. We try and get everything right, like everyone does. Try and get as much work as possible.
And flexibility.
Yeah.
All right, so then you worked for about 10 years for a drilling contractor, and then you started on your own?
Yeah, I had like I'd say a mentor help me out, I suppose, as a business partner to start off with. And he was with me for 2 years, and then we parted ways.
Okay. So how has it been for you to transition the company into what it is today, and especially after leaving how long after you started has your partner left?
I'd say maybe 3 years, 4 years. So he was with me for the first 2 years, and he was more of like he did help me with the background sort of stuff. So he set my business up to sort of succeed, I suppose. Like it was not, I think without that, I wouldn't have had the right resources behind me to make my business, I suppose successful is the word, right? Because I wouldn't have known. I was thrown in the deep and I had no business sense. I was just
Absolutely, I know successful is the right word.
Yeah.
Did they help you? When you say resources, do you mean like more on the financial side of things, the material resources, or you mean like from moral support, business guidance, or all of the above?
So he definitely helped with like business guidance. I had questions. So he sort of let me do my own thing and chase my own work, and sort of he never really molded me or tried to tell me what to do. But he definitely helped setting up the back end of the business, which is like the accounts and then any questions I had, I'd call him, and so it sort of helped. Like I would say, probably a lot, 100% helped.
That's very good. What are kind of like the core values at Terracon Civil? What sets you apart from, I guess, there's so many players in the market now.
Yeah, I think being a smaller company that's sort of more hands-on as a director, it goes a long way. Like if you go to someone's job and then you're there on the tools helping, or they have the client has a question and you're there, it's a lot easier than they have to call 4 people before they get to you. It makes it a lot easier for them just to get straight to the point, right? Or then on the bigger companies, they've got to call, yes, one person says, I don't know the answer, call this guy. I think being a bit smaller is a blessing because, yeah, if they have any questions, I can answer it straight away.
And there's always, what you notice is a lot of the people, you know, that are really competent and work already for a contractor, after a few years, like yourself, right? They start, if they're that responsible and that competent and that capable, they start their own business, right?
Yeah.
And then other companies, they want to work with them, you know, because of the responsibility. Do you feel like the responsibility is kind of like passed on? And, you know, if people don't have, let's say the, you know, skin in the game, they kind of like, oh, that I don't know the answer. I don't know how to fix it.
Exactly.
It's up to the boss. So
Exactly, yeah. If they say, oh, what do you want to do here? That's not really my job, is it? That's the, I don't know, the next person will get it. So if you're there to fix a problem straight away, it saves time on the project, saves money as well, right?
rather than, oh, it's above my pay.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not dealing with this. Not being paid enough.
Exactly, Ardo.
Looking ahead in terms of the long-term vision, like where do you want to take Terracon Civil? What's kind of like your ideas with it?
Well, at this
Is it kind
stage,
of like just riding the wave, or do you have like a clear vision? You know, like, oh, in 2 years I want to be here. In 3 years I want to be here. In 10 years I want to be there.
at this stage, I'm just trying to get through just the amount of work I have, right? And then I have never really, I've thought about where I want to be, right? And then as I get busy, I think I don't really want to be that busy. So like I want to bring in my expectations or my goals, and I just want to be a steady. I'm pretty happy where I am at the moment, right? But that might change in 2 months' time, so I might be a bit quiet. But if I'm so busy at the moment, I can't see me growing any further without sort of changing something internally in my business. Which might be hiring someone that can sort of take off a workload off myself.
Absolutely, yeah. There's only so much we can achieve by ourselves.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be where I am without the people that, you know, that I work with.
But like, well, I never started to start drilling. I started to shotcrete, and then I sort of got a drill rig. And then once I got a drill rig, Civil were known for doing such good shotcrete work. The drilling came hand in hand, and then we sort of got the name for doing both. And now it's I don't know, it's perfect for me at the moment.
But they do say, even to maintain something on a flat line, you still need to kind of like aim.
I'm aiming high. I've got ambition to go high.
Doesn't fly like
Yeah,
that.
I know.
Not like flies like that to kind of like.
It's just, I say that, right? I say I'm just happy where I am, but tomorrow I'll get a job that might be piling, right? And I wouldn't be able to say no. I'd have to say, yeah, I'll go for it. And like, it just always, I just love, like I was saying to you before, I just love that chase, and I love I suppose gamble, or not gamble, you know what I mean? You're good at your job, but the risk, right? I love
It's the adrenaline.
Yeah.
That's why I call it. It's the adrenaline.
Yeah, I love it. Like it's the best feeling.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm the same. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a healthy feeling, but it's definitely a good feeling.
Yeah.
So, in terms of industry and like market dynamics, what do you think are kind of like the trends at the moment that are like shaping our industry, the drilling? And when I say drilling, I mean like the sort of field that you're in right now, which is micro drilling.
I see that a lot of people are going towards hollow bar and changing towards that sort of getting away from traditional anchors towards hollow bar. Well, for me personally, anyway, I had a job in Adelaide that they changed it to hollow bar last minute because of the ground, which is great, right? Because your drill rig worked perfectly on that because it was tight access. It was only 3 meters wide. That's all we could get through.
Why do you think people are moving towards hollow bars?
I just think, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. Like obviously ground conditions change it to hollow bar, but then people are just going for it straight away. Like I think maybe because of the convenience.
Okay. So hollow bar is kind of like the equivalent in piling of CFA.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how I like to compare it. But yeah. Right now, you said we were talking earlier before we started recording, and you're saying that you're extremely busy and you've got work for the next, few months. When things are going good, that's fantastic, but what kind of like strategies or tools do you have in place if, for example, you go through a bit of a quiet or a bit of a deep, what do you do then? Like, what's your plan, I guess? Have you thought about that, or?
Like my plan, if I do go quiet, right, is I still have my niche of what I do, and I don't think that will ever change. And then I just keep chasing the more jobs that interest me, I suppose, is the right thing. But yeah, I don't really have a plan if things go quiet, unfortunately.
Yeah. So having, I guess, what worked for me, over the years, sometimes, piling rigs went, some reason better.
Yeah.
Sometimes, the anchoring attachments sold better, like it is right now. We have like six mass attachments on order.
Yeah.
So having different products, having kind of like different strings to play with,
Exactly.
that's so beneficial, and I guess that works for you as well, with everything that you're doing, all different types of drilling, shotcreting as well.
Yeah. So the drilling, it was always never one dimensional, right? It's always, you can always change it up and do that. And we've always had a different job. We never had the same job we never had the exact same job. There's always been something different, always a little bit different. There's never really been. So it's so interesting. Like everything always changes. And
yeah, I guess the diversity in our field is huge. And I love
know, always learning as well. Like,
always learning. Absolutely.
There's always something different. There's always like, oh, that's cool, like you start looking into it and stuff. So there's always something that you can sort of figure out on the run.
Yeah. It's interesting, but yeah, the amount of time I had to say, oh, I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
Let me just do a bit of homework here.
Yeah. Well, they go, can you do that? I said, yeah. Fuck, maybe can I do that?
Oh, look, the greatest business leaders, they do say that if someone asks you to do something and you don't know, just saying you know how to do it, go and learn and then do it.
Yeah. That's,
I mean, it's risky and it's a little bit dodgy, as we say in the
yeah,
but not really, right?
not really. No, it's sort of just a variable of what you already know. And if you can't do it, you can't do it, right? But I'm sure that if you look into it and you do study it, that's how everyone learns, right? You can't just pick up a drill rig and start drilling.
For sure. In terms of market sort of dynamics and where it's heading over the next 5 to 10 years, kind of like let's look at the challenges that you foresee, and then the opportunities. Let's get the bad things out of the way. What do you think the challenges and the obstacles are?
It's hard for me to say because I'm the new kid on the block, like you said, right? But there is a lot of people and influx going into the market, and it is harder to find the certain amount of work.
So you think competition is one obstacle
and finding labourers, like, or workers. Finding a good worker is probably one of the hardest things. You put an ad in the Seek on the internet for a driller or a shotcreter, you get 1 or 2 applicants, or not even any. But you put in the ad for an engineer, you get thousands. Like, it's just hard to find someone that wants to be on the ground working.
Why do you think that is, Zach?
I don't know. Maybe TikTok. I don't know if wants to be a TikToker. I don't know. I don't know.
For the record, I don't want to be a TikToker. Okay. I like my job at TerraQuip. I love running TerraQuip. I'll die doing that. But I just love, the reason why I'm doing this is I love talking to people, and I love the field, and I love to see different perspectives of different people.
Yeah.
Different business strategies, different philosophies. And yeah, I guess in essence, I love people. I love talking to people. But yeah, I know exactly.
Like the easy way out, like that someone doesn't want to get dirty or work on a drill rig and get dirty. They'd rather play Xbox or something. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess that's the obstacles. And in terms of opportunities, what do you see, happening in the next 5 to 10 years?
Like I said, like it's always growing. The Sydney is always growing, right? And there's always going to be different types of work. There's always going to be everything growing. Like, it's not going to stop growing. The world's not going to stop growing. So there's always going to be continuous work. It's just going to be finding it and changing with the market, right? And changing the way you do things to fit in, or there's so many things that you can do to sort of follow the market, but there's always going to have to be work to continue to grow.
This is always a point I touch on in terms of, I guess Australia is still a very small country population-wise, extremely small, right?
Yeah.
24, what are we now? 24, 25 million people, right? And I guess depends if you count the temporary residences, but the land is huge, right? You're talking about like pretty much the size of Europe. And there's different schools of thought regarding this. Some people say like, oh, it's going to continue. It's still a baby. It's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to boom. But some other people are saying, nah, the immigration is going to slow right down. And then, of course, that's going to drive a bit of a, like, I guess a bit of a dip in the market, and kind of like try to assimilate all of that. And then maybe later on, what's your, I guess, what are you betting on?
No, I don't think it's going to stop. I don't think immigration will stop. I don't. I just don't see like that happening, because if you can't stop immigration, it's just a natural thing of work. Like, you need workers, you need people to grow. It's just a natural course of life, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, it is, but you look at some of the countries in Europe, like Greece, for example, they were saying that they're shutting down a lot of schools because their population is in massive decline.
Really?
Not only, yeah, same in Italy, and even in some areas I've heard they're giving incentives to people to move there, or like tax-free if you live in certain areas in Italy. I think it was in Spain, because they were saying that the minimum sort of amount of kids per family, per couple that you need to have as a country to maintain the population is 2.1.
Yeah.
At the moment, I think the rate in some of the European countries is like 1.2, 1.4. So it's well under.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas if you look at the Arab countries, it's like 4.4, 4.5, and it's good on them. That's fantastic, like, so I think in Australia, we're like, obviously the immigration is still quite big, but I think we're just the population of Australia is like 2.4, I think is the official rate.
Yeah, okay.
So it'll be interesting to see, because that's definitely going to affect what we do.
Yeah,
dramatically. Building new infrastructure, hospitals, whatever, roads, schools, and so on and so forth. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the collaboration with TerraQuip,
Yeah.
I'm always looking for feedback. I'm always looking for people, to tell me what I could do better, and I'm always looking at things that are outside the box. Let's start a little bit with the MR A, with the attachment that you purchased from us. What was your experience with that, and what made you, I guess, get the Marini?
So I was looking around at other companies to the same sort of offer the same stuff, and I think I came and saw you, and I think the guy from Italy was there as well the same day.
Luca was
there, yeah, and you were just very confident in your brand, and you were very knowledgeable, and Luke was sort of perfect salesman, and you made me confident in your equipment, and you were really behind what you were selling and believed in what you were doing. I think people like that, if someone believes in so much in what they do, you sort of believe in it as well, right? If you're confident and say, this is my shit, buy it, I'm buying it. That's what I think. I was on the day, like you were saying before, I was just on the day straight away, I buy it. And I was happy.
So first of all, I honestly can't remember how we ended up at Halyard.
Yeah.
I don't know if someone else recommended you, or
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure how we got in touch, but we got in touch. And I must say, it's incredible. Like, Luca, he's one of our listeners, Luca from Marini. Whenever he comes to Australia, we sell, right? Like, it just so happens. Like, it's I don't know if it's by chance or if it's a conspiracy behind it. But it was this rainy day. We were just in the office there, like, oh, Zach is here. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we went downstairs. I never met you before.
No, it's
the first
time
I met you. We had a chat about it. We showed you a few things that we had going on. I think we showed you the MRA 120.
Yeah.
And you said that was a little bit, because we proposed that for you.
Yeah.
But you said it was a little bit too big.
Like, I was going for the niche sort of smaller jobs, right? And the smaller mask can go on a smaller digger. And that's sort of, I had my heart set on that, right? And then.
So going back to the MRA 120, what was the obstacle? What was the challenge for you with that attachment? Why did you incline more for the 100?
Just a smaller
for the 80.
Smaller mast length and smaller rods, so that we could go in someone's backyard and do some sort of tight access drilling. And that's just what we were chasing, that sort of market at the time. And then we've had it ever since. It's been working pretty much since I've got it from you. So it was a good purchase, thankfully.
Yeah, that's definitely happy to hear that. We want our clients to be successful in what they're doing. That's for sure. Do you think it's there's a potential arising for you coming up with a bigger attachment? Maybe the one. To be honest, the 120 is no longer available. It's now just the 150, because they realized that the weight of the 120 and the 150 was the same.
Yeah, okay.
But the performance was pretty much of the 150. So they said, like, why would we offer the 120 anymore?
Yeah, so definitely the 150 would be something they would look at. because when I did the hollow bar jobs, once it gets deeper, it's easier with bigger rods, as you know, right? So, but as I said, the 180 I have, I can't fault it. It's been the best decision for my business to buy.
I'm glad to hear that. That's very good. In terms of the spare parts and support, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. So we had a job in Adelaide, like as you know, and we've been when the jaws broke on the machine, and it was the easiest thing for me because I just called you and you sort of put in the right direction, and I just fly them down the next day when I go look at the job. Without that sort of service
on the weekend.
on the weekend, exactly. I don't have no limits. I'll call anyone anytime I'm on. But I flew down. So without that sort of service, it would have been downtime, and there's 5 blokes that I'm paying living away. Just like and downtime on the job. It's just a lot of downtime that could have cost me. But so I could just pay $200 for a flight and then just fly down there, look on the job, 100%. And then fix the rig.
Yeah, that's the thing, the biggest thing, and this is I guess what I focus on, the after sales support, because at the moment, we're actually about 20 different equipment suppliers in Australia and New Zealand. So the Oceania market, for about 20 different suppliers.
Wow.
So you guys got a lot of competition as well, but we have huge amount of competition, right? So then I guess you try to differentiate yourself.
Yeah.
And try to offer something better and special. And of course, this being my passion, if someone calls me on a weekend, I can't ask my guys, to come from 1 hour away on a weekend. They're with their families or whatever, but I live 4 minutes away from work.
Yeah.
I have that. I was like, I'm going to take this phone call and I'm going to help him.
Yeah.
This is important, So I drop everything and try to, to help you put the jaws on Uber, and then away we go. But another thing that we're always looking at, as I said to you, to do things a little bit out of the box and things that we can afford as well, because we're not Bauer or Lieber, with millions and dollars of resources, right? So we have to choose very careful what we do. I guess what we've done for you is we said, okay, let's set you've got the work, right? And we're obviously doing this for, special clients, let's say, that have the work out there. So, okay, let's put like a spare parts assignment on order, especially for Zach. We send him the parts, all assigned to his equipment. And then whenever he uses the parts, he pays us. And then if a certain period passes by, hopefully by the time he's made enough money that he can just afford to buy them, right? Even if he's not using them. So spare parts on consignment is one program that we do. Yours is on the way.
Yes. Thank you. I don't need it yet, right? Hopefully.
So yeah, that plays a huge role.
Massive. Just having it there, the spare parts there is a massive part. Because everyone's, especially in Sydney, everyone's push, right? And one breakdown, they think the job's going to stop, the job's finished, but
it's the end of the world.
Yeah. So they're always trying to push the job.
Yeah. In terms of, I guess, how you do things, project-based execution, innovation, can you tell me, I know there's a lot of things that, maybe you don't want to share, you don't want to let out your knowledge. Some people are listening. But are there any things that you can share with us that kind of like sets you apart?
Like I said before, just being on the ground, always there, is a main thing that I pride on, always being available to my client, which you do the same. Like you said, on weekends. If someone called me on a Saturday at 8 p.m, one of my clients, I'd answer it because I want to know what's the problem, or what, maybe not the problem, maybe, but
maybe it's an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. So I that's probably something that I pride myself in. And all my workers, they've all worked for me. Not worked for me. I've worked with them when I was a kid as well. So I've known them 10, 15 years. And like you work with them every day. They like you. You see them more than your family, unfortunately, sometimes, right?
So you got different leverage, right, with the team.
Yeah.
So it's things that you can ask them to do, to go above and beyond.
And they do it without me asking, going above and beyond. So sort of, I think that whole close-knit sort of company comes across to the clients, and they seem to really enjoy it.
In terms of technology and, I guess, emerging technologies that come and, they have such a huge impact, such as AI, right?
Yeah.
Where do you see that fitting in our industry?
Well, I just found out that you can put your plans into AI and they read it for you and they do the quantity takeoff and stuff like that. I thought this is the best thing ever. Like chat PDF. I shouldn't tell everyone that, but you put your plans in there and then they come back out and they read out like how many anchors are on the job, the quantities. It's amazing. Like it saves my time.
Do you see a disadvantage to that as well?
It could be wrong, right? And then who's checking it? Like I know there's human error, but there's also
Assuming that they do a perfect job, still, can you see a disadvantage to that?
yeah, you take away that personal approach, right? That's something that I pride myself on. But for me, sometimes time is the most valuable thing on a day, right? So looking at that quick plan, quick overview of it, and I still check it because I don't really know how good it works. I only found out about it the other day.
And of course, we're in construction, the umbrella, let's say the main field. We can't go on to talk about this stuff without the safety. What sort of processes do you have in mind or in place, or what do you do in general to ensure that you guys are safe, they're working in a safe manner?
We always try our best to be safe no matter what, right? But the job is risky. So there's times that you think, is that really safe? But it is safe, right? Like it is, but there's always times where you think, could that be done differently? But as long as you're sort of learning from everything and making sure you're doing the safest way possible.
I guess in terms of safety, there's different options out there, for companies to employ and different strategies. And one of them would be, we've done this. For example, we employed a third party, like a separate company to carry out like an audit,
Yeah.
And, tell us like there were so many things. There were so many things that were like, okay, we need to improve this, we need to improve that.
Yeah.
Fire extinguisher there, vacation plan there, first aid course and all of these things.
I had the same sort of thing, right? Like he's like a safety manager, but he just comes in and just pauses up a storm and then leaves.
Unnecessary storm.
Yeah, a good storm. It's a good storm. It's always improving, right? It's not like you want your workers to be safe.
Absolutely.
You always do. And then if he's there, it's like a third party. So that's what he has to do. And then we just conform to that, I suppose.
Absolutely. As in terms of leadership, now we move into our last. Time flies so fast. We're moving to our last part of the episode. In terms of leadership, and I guess, what are the most rewarding things for you as a business owner, as director of Terracon?
I think of working like as a leadership, like seeing all my staff and stuff, they sort of grow and sort of growing with me, and like if I get an interesting job there, like seeing them interested is just as much as me. It's just really rewarding, right? Because you are putting your balls on the line, as they say, to do the.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but if your staff are with you, they're confident and they're really excited about the new projects you have on, it sort of gives you a buzz, right? You're thinking like, fuck, it's worth it. Like, we're doing something good here. We're growing together.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, growing people is certainly very fulfilling.
Yeah,
very motivating, very inspiring to me to say. Yeah, I'm the same. Speaking about growing people and people that kind of come into the industry, what sort of advice would you give them aspiring to be like you?
Or it's cliche, right? But just take the chances and have a go. Like it's hard, and you have to. Everyone says make sure you do work-life balance, but for the first few years, it's just work. There's no balance. It's just work. You just have to. Fuck. It's good. It's rewarding when you get there, but then during that time, you're thinking, fuck, is this worth it? Like, am I doing these right things? Maybe I'm going to go work back with someone else. But yeah, once you get there,
have a life.
yeah, once you get there, you're like, oh, it is worth it. Like it's good. It's going good now. But
no, 100%. I hate this cliche when I hear people talking about like work and work-life balance. Like, there is no balance.
There is no balance.
There's just the sacrifice. Like it's up to you. If you want to achieve something great, there's a lot. I mean, I'm not gonna get into details about the things that I sacrificed, but I did.
Yeah.
And the family always ends up suffering and stuff like that. But there's no great thing without a bit of sacrifice.
Exactly. And you have to sacrifice, right? Like you're saying, you have to. It's just the way it is.
100%. And now sacrifices, but then like things I guess that recharge you when you're not doing what you're doing, when you're not hustling and bustling. What sort of things?
I am honestly, just spending time with my family is like a main thing. It sort of keeps you. I suppose having two young girls, it keeps you very grounded, right? Like I'm definitely not the boss in my house. Like these two girls, they'll just put me in my place straight away, and it's good. It's great.
How old are you girls?
4 and 5.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Close to each other.
Yeah. So like that's their
It's
bullies.
amazing. It's an amazing age though.
Yeah, it is. It's
It
beautiful.
is all they're absolute toys.
I know, it's the best. And like they keep me so busy. Like I don't know where they get their energy from really. But I think that's every parent, right? They think but it's the best thing coming home, and that's what makes it all worth it, right? Yeah. Same as you, like the hustle and the chase and the money and everything is sort of only for your kids, really, at the end of the day. It's not for much more.
Yeah, you gotta have the family part as well.
Yeah, yeah.
To I guess enjoy all of that, all
Yeah.
that achievement, all of that success, to 100%. Last thing, I hope you enjoy, by the way, and I really appreciate your time. I know how busy I am, as I said, and it's obviously there's no conspiracy, guys. Terracon, I promise this. It just happened, right? I like the name Terracon. It's got a good sound to it. Obviously, I like TerraQuip.
Yeah.
In terms of TerraQuip Talk, right? I hope you enjoy this, and if you've got any sort of advice for me, and what do you think I should take this? Because obviously, like, I'm not in it, for the views,
Yeah.
I
love it.
About this.
Yeah.
You think it's a good idea that I'm trying to?
Of course, because
different.
I think it's a great idea because you see like people for who they are, right? Like I think I saw a few other sort of bigger companies from Sydney, right? And he's yet to see the person that sort of built a sort of legacy, I'd say, but I don't know what the word would be, but build a big company. You think like they are just the average bloke having a go. That's a very Aussie thing to say, but it is what it is.
Well, having a go after they put in a lot of work.
That's what I mean, but you have to, they put a lot of work.
I worked for someone else, for 7 years before I started therapy.
Yeah.
And there were 7 intense years, I treated it like as it was my own business.
You have to have that in you to do your own thing, right? Like you have to, like you can't just float through a company and then try and start your own business. You have to you either have it or you don't, unfortunately. Like you either have.
100%. Beck, thank you so much. Guys, thank you as well for watching this. Please feel free to give us a thumbs up. Leave us some good positive comments if you can. That'll be very encouraging. And remember, if it's not turning, you're not earning. Zach,
Thank you, brother.
see you next time.
See you next time.